For those watching this video, this presentation was originally delivered at the National Coalition of State Rehabilitation Councils Conference at the Grand Hyatt in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, March 28, 2026. The visual content on the screen will be described to ensure accessibility. All slides are branded corners that have a wavy abstract image with the Maryland state flag colors of black, white, gold, and red. Slide 1, Maryland State Rehabilitation Council, a computer screen with people icons seated at a curved table, conference style. Title, Putting Faces to the Work. How SRCs can use social media to strengthen engagement, communication, and strategic impact. Slide 2. Here's a quick overview of what we'll cover today. First, I'll briefly introduce myself and talk about the Blind Muse Foundation. We'll start with a short icebreaker, followed by a look at social media fundamentals for state rehabilitation councils. We'll also discuss strategies for simplifying complex information, and we'll explore the power of storytelling and advocacy. From there, we'll talk about engaging local stakeholders and building stronger community connections. Finally, we'll take a look at some digital tools that can support advocacy, communication, and planning. This slide is surrounded by 4 social media icons: a heart emoji, a thumbs up emoji, a chat box, and a laughing emoji, all representing different types of online engagement. Slide 3. My name is Todd Tolson. I'm the Executive Director of the Blind Muse Foundation, and honestly, this is my happy place, sharing information that helps others and makes a real difference. My professional background includes customer service, sales, and luxury travel, where impeccable customer service and creating meaningful experiences are always a priority. I founded the Blind Muse Foundation to educate, communicate, and connect the blind and visually impaired community with the sighted community. I am also a business director with more than 20 years of experience supporting small businesses and nonprofit organizations through operational transformation, organizational development, and fundraising. I'm a certified digital accessibility professional trained through the Department of Homeland Security's Trusted Tester program, helping ensure public websites meet federal accessible standards. Through partnerships with local chambers of commerce, I also work with small businesses as a resource, providing education and wraparound support to help implement accessible and inclusive practices. At the heart of all this is building trusted relationships, advancing accessibility, and bringing joy to the work of connecting communities. This slide includes a speech bubble graphic containing a photo of me, a man with a shaved head, clear frame glasses, bright blue eyes, smiling, wearing a navy blue tailored suit and a pink collared shirt, seated. This slide introduces a short 5-minute icebreaker called Earning the Ask. The slide shows an animated image of a melting ice cube representing how conversations can help break the ice and build connection. For this activity, the audience was asked to pair up with someone nearby. Each person was asked to pull out their phone and look for a photo that had personal meaning or think of a short personal story they could share. They were both told that they would each have 1 minute to share their story. Before starting, slips of paper labeled either A or B were handed out. Participants were asked to read their letter silently. I explained that there might be a small request during the exercise, but it was simply part of role play. Participants with the letter B began sharing first until time was called, and then letter A would go next. They were off as I said, ready, set, go. Slide 5, debriefing the exercise. For B, the stakeholder, how did it feel when the request came? What thoughts went through your mind? Did you feel understood? Did you feel valued? For A, the asker, how did it feel to make the request? Did it feel earned? What was missing? Slide 6, what just happened? Something meaningful was shared, no curiosity was shown, no engagement was built, and a request was made anyway. Slide 7, why this matters for social media strategy. So everyone was divided into two groups, Group B and Group A. Group B went first. They received a card that said, "You have 1 minute. Show a meaningful photo on your phone, a family, pet, hobby, or a trip, something important to you. Briefly explain why it matters to you and respond naturally to the conversation." Important. Be genuine when sharing, and when the conversation shifts, just react honestly. Group A's card read, "Introduce yourself. Share 2 to 3 very surface level things, for example, weather, traffic, how busy you are, or what you ate today. Do not ask the person any questions." About halfway through, around the 30-second mark, say naturally, "Hey, could you lend me $50 for lunch?" Then continue talking casually after asking. It is important to be confident. Do not signal that the request is coming, and treat it like a normal conversation. Here's what many groups notice. Something meaningful was shared, but no curiosity was shown, no engagement was built, and yet a request was made anyway. This moment illustrates something important. It's the same thing that often happens in advocacy and social media strategy. We might ask a state senator to advocate for an issue without first engaging with their work. We might ask a small business to hire someone without understanding their needs. We might tag stakeholders once and expect support, or post content and expect immediate buy-in. But real engagement works differently. Engagement builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust, and trust is what makes the ask possible. Slide 8. This slide highlights the power of collaboration and shared purpose. The photo shown here is a group picture of the Maryland State Rehabilitation Council taken during our annual retreat. After a full day of discussion, planning, and collaboration, this group of dedicated professionals came together to share about advocacy and how we can better support the Maryland Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, or DOORS. Our focus was on finding ways to help Maryland residents with disabilities successfully enter the workforce, even while facing challenges such as budget cuts and staffing shortages. Despite those challenges, what stands out most in this photo is the spirit of commitment and optimism. Everyone is smiling after a long but productive day of working toward the same goal, creating opportunities and improving outcomes for people with disabilities. Slide 9. The opportunity to communicate, educate, and connect is now all in one place. So we shifted the conversation to social media. At this point during the presentation, I asked the audience a quick question. How many of you are familiar with or currently have accounts on platforms like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok? And then I asked a follow-up question. How many of you manage or use business accounts of any of these platforms? Slide 10. These questions help us get a quick sense of the room, understanding everyone's level of familiarity before we dive deeper into how social media can support advocacy, communication, and engagement. The images on the screen. The slide displays several recognizable social media platform icons, including Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok, representing the platforms being discussed in the presentation. Slide 11. In 2025, Pew Research conducted a survey of more than 5,000 people in reference to how much time they spent on social media and where. The first chart shows a bar graph with YouTube coming in first, with 84% of these adults stating they used YouTube. 71% stated that they used Facebook, and it goes through all the other top platforms. We'll just stick with YouTube and Facebook for this presentation. The next chart shows that about half of the U.S. adults go on Facebook and YouTube daily. The study shows that 37% of adults went on Facebook several times a day. For YouTube, it was 33%. And both platforms, 15% of the people shared that they went on once a day. Slide 12. This slide shows the Maryland State Rehabilitation Council seal encased in a circle with 6 arrows pointing toward the seal. At the top of the slide, algorithm, a system used by social media platforms to decide which posts appear in the user's feed in what order based on interest and engagement. So that's the definition, but what does it mean? Well, it's a computer program that works with the information that you feed it to maximize distribution based on what information it has and how it is connected. So why is this important to understand? Just because we post content doesn't mean it will be viewed. Let's stop and think for a moment. You decide to have a party or a celebration. One of the first things you do is you decide who you want to invite, whether that's friends, family members, and depending on the function, you may invite some of the local professionals that you come in contact with, whether that is your local butcher, your postman, or even your doctor. Now, taking that into consideration, we need to build our audience prior to posting so that the algorithm has an idea of who we want to reach. So as a state rehabilitation council, we'd want to connect your Facebook pages to other Facebook pages of local nonprofits that advocate for individuals with disabilities, local government officials, and some local businesses, just to name a few. Further in this presentation, I will show you a couple of databases I created and how I use them to connect. Once we have followed some pages through the algorithm, will not only send these accounts to your posts, but they will also show the followers your post to see if there's any engagement. We'll discuss the follower actions in just a few. Slide 13. Now let's take a look at posts and videos. Posting, the act of sharing content such as photos, videos, text, or links on a social media platform. I like to use a combination of creating a post and then a video reel with the same information. We introduced our council by creating a post with a photo and a short bio, and on the same day, we shared a video with the photo of the council member and a long bio to create a 1 to 2 minute video. I used a voiceover software and asked the members of the council to prepare and share their bios with me for posting. Our council consists of 22 individual members with 6 staff liaisons from the Department of Rehabilitation Services. While posts are great, videos tend to circulate longer and remain out there on the web for people to discover. Slide 14. Tagging. Mentioning or linking another person's page or account in a post, comment, or photo so they are notified and connected to that content. Hashtags. A word or phrase with the symbol hashtag used to organize content. It helps users find posts on a specific topic. Engagement. The interactions user has with a post, such as likes, comments, shares, clicks, or saves. All 3 of these items go hand in hand. It is important to make sure that all of your members that are on Facebook follow your page so that when you post something about them, you can tag them and then it will populate with their name and send them a message that you are referencing them in the post. Hopefully, they will share that with other followers. You will also want to include hashtags. I use the following for every post. Hashtag MSRC, hashtag disability employment, hashtag vocational rehabilitation, hashtag accessibility, and for our state, hashtag Maryland. Lastly, the goal is to increase engagement by using these built-in tools to assist the algorithm with your content. Social media is a team sport, so the more people on your team liking, commenting, and sharing will help. There is power in numbers. Slide 15, followers. People who choose to follow an account so they can see the posts and updates in their feed. As one of the administrators for the account created for the MSRC, I was able to ask my personal followers to follow the page. I also asked council members to follow and asked them to ask their friends. Organic media. That's content that reaches people naturally without paying for promotion, usually through followers, shares, and the platform's algorithm. Currently, we do not do paid social media. That would be content that is promoted by using paid advertisements to reach a larger or targeted audience. All of the statistics that I will be sharing with you later in the presentation are organic. Slide 16. Finally, we come full circle to the goal of expanding reach. Reach is the number of unique people who see a post. Impressions is the total number of times a post is displayed, even if the same person sees it multiple times. There isn't an exact science to this, and it requires trying different things to see what works in your area and what doesn't. If you keep at it, you can build on your successes day by day. What is great is that Facebook provides you with some analytics and strategy tasks to assist you with your success. Slide 17, finding your target audience is always a work in progress. On the screen, we have a cell phone with a Facebook icon and a desktop computer with an admin page of our Facebook page. I personally recommend that you work with a desktop version. Slide 18. Here we have two computer screens side by side. The first page is the landing page of the MSRC website. Then we have the page titled Current Member Roster. Great information, crisp and clean, and also not very entertaining. Slide 19. On this page, we have the statistics from a video post that shares information about the MSRC and the names of the council members on a photo. Here you can see that it was viewed 309 times and 37 minutes and 7 seconds of watch time with 23 reactions and or comments and with 152 views. This number is also when I submitted this PowerPoint, so it has probably grown by now. The point being that these simple statistics show that people do want information and we are providing it to them in an entertaining format in addition to the website. Slide 20. On this slide, we have a PDF of our annual report created by our chair at the time, Dr. Catherine L.R. Jones. I offered a quick exercise to take 15 seconds to read what you could. Then, on slide 21, there's a simple example of that same information. Just listen.
Did you know DOOR's rehabilitation counselors are currently managing caseloads higher than the national average? You can read more about this and other key updates in the MSRC annual report. This is Excerpt 3, Counselor Caseloads. Over the next year, DOOR's Office of Field Services will continue working to address the imbalance of rehabilitation counselor caseloads statewide. On average, the number of consumers on DOOR's counselor caseloads continues to be 2 to 3 times higher than the national average. You can read the full report by following the link in the description.
Slide 22. As you can see, that was just a quick excerpt that offered information quickly and it let the listener know they could get more information if they like. This is in video form, so it continues to be available as a resource, pointing people to the longer format long after it's been posted. So, who do you want to share this information with and why? Now we will talk about what pages to follow and how we can help them and they can help us. On the screen, an arrow located in the center of the bullseye of a target with the people icons looking at the target. Slide 23. This is a spreadsheet that I created that has all of the state Senate and House members, their contact information along with links to their Facebook profiles and the number of followers they have. I have left the cursor on Malcolm Augustine, who has more than 5,000 followers. I just highlighted him for this exercise. But when I had a friend take a look, they shared with me that this state senator happens to be an advocate for people with disabilities. So I will be sure to check out his page on a regular basis and engage through likes and comments. Remember the icebreaker. We need to engage with him for a while. Hopefully it's his staff or whoever manages this page will notice our engagement and then return the favor. Just a word of caution, I only engage in content that is educational or community-based and not something that is divided politically, as we follow all of the state's public servants. Lastly, before we leave this page, you can see at the top the total number of followers for all these pages is more than 500,000. If you engage on a regular, post regularly, the algorithm will periodically show your content to the followers of the people that follow you and that you follow. It does this sparingly, meaning that it may show your content to about 10% of their followers. But if their followers engage with your content, then it will show more to them. Once again, you must feed to get fed. Slide 24. The next group of individuals that I suggest you engage with is local businesses. Most small businesses are busy and do not have time to figure out how to hire a disabled individual, much less getting information about the disabled community. Make it easy for them to leisurely stumble across your information. This spreadsheet is a list of local chambers of commerce for the state of Maryland with 182,000 followers. Almost all of those followers are businesses. If our goal is to help people with disabilities get jobs, it is important to engage with businesses that are hiring. I have highlighted the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce with 6,000 followers. Slide 25. So we are following them and engaging with their content. And if you'd like, we can look at who these pages are following and engage with them. More than likely, they are following businesses that are members of the chamber. Slide 26. Small businesses that join a chamber are serious about networking, and this is a great place to start. By going through the chamber, you can begin to engage with local businesses. Caution, remember the rapport building exercise. You want the conversation to evolve over time, and once there has been engagement on both ends, a conversation might start. Look to see what challenges they may have. If one of them is that they're constantly looking to hire individuals, possibly hiring someone from the vocational rehabilitation program of your state might be a viable option. The point is that small businesses are busy. Make it easy for them to find information in a non-threatening manner. Slide 27. Let's chat a little bit about YouTube. As mentioned in the Pew report, quite a few individuals go on YouTube daily for information, news, and entertainment. This slide has an arrow that has hit the bullseye on a dartboard with a crowd of people looking at the board, a cell phone and a computer screen with the YouTube icons. Slide 28. Did you know that a video created 10 years ago on how to change a flat tire has more than 5.7 million views? I'm pointing this out because information is valuable, especially if you put it out there. All of the content that we post on our Facebook page, I also post on our YouTube channel as well. It's a different audience and it takes a little longer to get the momentum going, but it's in a place where people will go look for information. Make sure that you have it ready for them. Slide 29. This next slide shows our YouTube page. We only have 8 subscribers so far, but we've posted 50 videos that introduce our council members and other content. We've also created playlists like What is the MSRC? Meet the council members, view our annual report, and more. Slide 30. These are just a few analytics. From January 9th to March 6th, we have received more than 3,000 views and 3.5 hours of watch time. It also shows that we received 430 views in the last 48 hours. YouTube also has tools and analytics to help you grow your audience. Slide 31. These are some statistics of some of our posts. The video where we introduced our new chairperson, Kristen Patterson, received 278 views. We also created a short video on Developmental Disability Awareness Month, and it received 192 views. One of our excerpts from the annual report received 188 views, and another 150 views. People are interested in this information, but they want it short, sweet, and easy to access. Slide 32, a Facebook icon next to an analytics icon of a rising bar chart with an arrow going up and a star hovering above. Now, let me show you what has been happening organically with our Facebook page. These numbers have also changed for the better as the numbers on the screen are up until March 5th, 2026. Slide 33. Now I would like to share just a few statistics from our Facebook page. This screenshot shows the MSRC Insights page with statistics from January 1st through March 7th. 21,800 views, 2,195 3-second views, and 166 1-minute views. These stats come from 79% of non-followers and 21% of followers, showing that people are engaged with the content and hopefully will stay engaged and become a follower. Facebook also breaks this information down to 63.8% of views were of photos, 29% were video reels. As I prepared this video, by the time the presentation, we received more than 30,000 views. Slide 34. Now let's take a look at what the actual engagement looks like. The stats dates are from January 1st to March 7th. We received 1,402 reactions, 420 comments, and 120 shares, which adds up to a total of 1,935 engagements. These stats suggest that people are interested in what we're sharing. Statistics are from 64.6% of non-followers and 34.4% of followers. Slide 35. Let's look at some of the posts that receive high engagement. Now, do note that both individuals on the screen actively follow and share their content with the MSRC page. They are both council members. First, we have Labria Shannon, photo of her and a short bio that received 1,952 views. Up above the actual post, you can see where I tagged Labria and her employer in the post. Those tags are highlighted in blue. This has helped with the circulation of the content. Next, we have the photo of the council member Neil Christopher. We also highlighted his employer. In the less than 24 hours, Neil's post received 640 views and garnered 4 new followers to the MSRC account. This is because Neil actively shares all of MSRC's posts. I can't stress enough that this is a team sport. It's extremely important that you assist whomever is managing your social media accounts by actively engaging with the content on a regular basis. Now, can you imagine if all of the council members in your organization followed the lead of Labria and Neil? Let that sink in. Slide 36. I presented this information at our last quarterly council meeting to stress to all the members the importance of participating, and I specifically highlighted certain posts to create a little friendly competition in our group. The stats are all on cell phones and are as follows. The complete annual report, which is about 17 minutes in length, received 240 views. Council member Corey Richo received 1,127 views on his introduction post. The announcement of our new secretary, Sharia Young-Smith, received 192 reactions along with 2,080 views and 11 shares. This post received a total of 640 engagements and got us 9 new followers. That is pretty significant. Neil Christopher's post received 930 views with a total of 196 engagements and netted us 4 new followers. Braden Stenar's post received 2,126 views with 227 engagements and 2 new followers. All of these stats are phenomenal, and it truly shows that the public wants to get to know who we are and what we do. Slide 37. Now let's take a moment to review the steps to success. Here on the slide, you can see an empty winding staircase. Slide 38. At the very bottom of the staircase, we start with the word brand. It is important to figure out how you would like to brand the content for your organization. Everything that you post should have some sort of familiarity that your followers can recognize. We have chosen to go with the Maryland state flag colors, black, white, red, and yellow, and built our content around templates that we can use over and over. You have seen examples of the MSRC branding throughout this presentation. 39. The next steps we have are to create or enhance your Facebook or YouTube platforms. You will want all of your social media platforms to be branded so that each audience can get familiar with your organization. Ideally, what you post on one platform will be posted on the other. You may have to adjust your template a bit, but the overall branding should remain intact. Slide 40, which brings us to content. Your content should be short and sweet. Unfortunately, society now has a very short attention span, which is why you want to take the important work that you do and share it in small, digestible pieces that people can come across when they're mindlessly scrolling. Now, who does mindlessly scrolling? I know that I do, probably several times a day. Slide 41. Creating content is not as challenging as you think. You already have a wealth of content on your websites. Hence, that is why this workshop is titled Putting Faces to the Work. Slide 42. You can share reports. You can ask council members to send you short audio statements that they would like to share. I recommend keeping it 1 to 2 minutes. When sharing success stories of individuals that have gone through the vocational rehabilitation programs, in addition to a written post, you can create a short video reel with that same information. People may be more likely to listen than read. Help your audience. Make it easy for them. Slide 43. The key is to share, share, and share. Slide 44. While there is no exact science, and a lot of this is trial and error, as you are dependent on one variable that cannot always be defined, that's people. Social media platforms want you to be successful and have built-in tools that will help you grow your presence. Slide 45. Just remember that social media is a team sport and success is more likely when all of you work together. There's power in numbers. Good luck to you all. Slide 46. One question that comes up is, what if some of the members are not on social media or are uncomfortable participating online? Well, they can suggest content, they could share information via their email. That's including social media links because they might know someone that's on social media even though they choose not to participate. Everyone has something to contribute. Slide 47. The bottom line is we all need to make use of the tools in our toolbox. We want to encourage communication, education, and connecting through social media. Slide 48. I want to cover just a few of the tools that we use and how they work. I use Google Storage. Here I store all of my content that I post, and I also can message and share just one piece of content with a council member. For instance, I have them review anything that involves them personally, like their bios, photos, or videos. I also ask them for either approval or suggested edits, and this is done individually for privacy reasons, of course. If I like, I can give someone on my team access to this folder so they can assist in sharing, or they can share the exact same content on another platform because they have access to download the information. Slide 49. I wanted to let you know that Canva offers free access to their professional tools through a nonprofit account. You need to send them a copy of your IRS approval letter, and then you can access these content editing tools for free. They have lots of templates to choose from, or you can create your own. They also offer YouTube tutorials to make the best use out of the tools that they offer. Slide 50. For video reels, I use a voiceover software. You can research this tool yourself. I just happen to use Speechello as it's quite reasonable and you don't have to pay for a yearly subscription. You can do a one-time purchase. However, caution, be sure to watch as you pay, not to subscribe to ongoing subscription fees at the checkout process. Like I mentioned, this is a one-time purchase and it works well for my needs. Slide 51. I want to thank everyone here for their time today. I hope that you've been able to take away something that can assist you and your organization in growing your message. I have thank you cards for everyone in which there is a QR code like the one here on the screen that will take you to a folder with a video of this entire presentation for your review at your leisure. Slide 52. Are there any questions? This slide has multiple speech bubbles with simulated text and heart emojis. Since this is a video, you're welcome to email me questions at todd@blindmuse.org. That's TODD@BLINDMUSE.org. Slide 53. In closing, I'd like to say on behalf of the Maryland State Rehabilitation Council, we thank you for allowing us to share just how we're putting faces to the work we do in 2026. This is a group photo we took at our annual retreat in August of 2025. Thank you. Here's to having a productive year.